Assalamu alaikum everyone.
Peace and blessings upon you all.
Welcome to Daily Ayah from the Quran.
Every day we will spend a few minutes learning a new verse from the Holy Quran.
You can start on the first day of the month,
or you can start any day.
That means you will be able to learn 30 new ayahs every month.
That's 360 verses a year.
This show is short, sweet, yet very comprehensive. Every episode is less than 10 minutes long, so you'll never get bored. Remember, this is for all humans, old and young, female and male, Muslims and non-Muslims alike. Take this treasure, understand it, apply it, and share it with others.
Dear viewers across the globe, I greet you with the best greeting that has ever been used on this planet. Peace be unto you. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Dear viewers, welcome to this program. And this is an episode about a very simple ayah, a very simple verse that we use it almost every day, few hundred times. So it's very important to understand the meaning and to really feel it, so that you will be able to taste the beauty of this ayah, and you will be able to taste the beauty of the whole Quran. The ayah comes in the beginning of every chapter in the Holy Quran. Now it's ayah number 1 in chapter number 1. This ayah is
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
In the name of Allah, the entirely merciful and the specially merciful. We have two words. They are derived from the same root. They are derived from the root of rahima. So here, Ar-Rahman, Ar-Rahim, Ar-Rahman, Ar-Rahim. And these are two levels of mercy. Perhaps a lot of people, because they don't know Allah, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants everybody to remember this, to know Him by this kind of attribute, that He is Ar-Rahman and Ar-Rahim. So if the two words are derived from the same root, so it's very good to see the difference and understand the difference between the two words, Ar-Rahman, Ar-Rahim. First of all, there are two levels of mercy. The first level is the level of Ar-Rahman, is the level of mercy for the entire world. All the worlds of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala enjoy the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. All of them, no exception. All of them have the same right to enjoy this kind of mercy, which we call it the comprehensive mercy. So everyone, every human, every animal, every insect, everything in this universe enjoys the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, which is under the meaning of Ar-Rahman. Humans, Muslims and non-Muslims alike, animals, insects, everyone enjoys the mercy of God, the mercy of Almighty Allah. And then there is another level of mercy which will be given to specific people on the Day of Judgment. The people who obeyed Almighty Allah, the people who followed the instructions and the guidance of Almighty Allah, and the people who worshipped Allah only and did not associate anyone else with Him, are the ones who enjoy the word Ar-Rahman, specifically merciful to this kind of people. In other words, the believers. So we have the general mercy for every human and for every world, for everything in the universe. And we have the other level of Ar-Rahim. And that's why it's so beautiful to understand the difference between the two. So in the beginning of every chapter, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants us specifically to remember that He is the most merciful and the most compassionate. In other words, He is the entirely merciful for all humans, and specifically for the believers, He is Ar-Rahim. Once you know the meaning of these two words and the difference between them, you start having this feeling in your heart. You feel comfortable. When you ask about Allah, who is Allah? Now you come to this answer. He is Ar-Rahman, Ar-Rahim, regardless of the list of the attributes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But you begin with Ar-Rahman, Ar-Rahim. Doesn't here all the other attributes are very essential, are very important for us to understand the Quran and to know who is our Creator, what are His qualities and attributes. And this is something everybody knows. That's why the more you know about Allah, the more you love Him. It's not just enough to say that I'm a Muslim and I obey Allah, but you need to increase your knowledge about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And remember, this kind of knowledge is also so unique because you get this knowledge from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala Himself. Allah is the author of the Quran. He is the one who gives us all these qualities about Himself. So it's not somebody else who is telling us about Allah, but Allah is telling us about Himself. It's so authentic. That's why it's very important for all of us to exercise memorizing and remembering all the attributes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And it's very good to teach it to our kids as early as possible. At very young age, it becomes very easy to teach them that. They would love to remember all these names of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, but gradually you explain the meaning to them according to their level of understanding. And once this becomes a habit in our houses and in our halls, in our families, it becomes very easy to practice these names from time to time. If we cannot do it, the best thing is that we can do them every day. Ar-Rahman, Ar-Rahim, Al-Malik, Al-Quddus, Al-Salam, and so on and so forth. It becomes part of it, and we fulfill the meaning of the hadith of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Whoever knows them, memorizes them, understands them, and experiences them, try to live with that. Try to connect the things that happen around us with these names so that they become more meaningful in our hearts and mind. Dear viewers, this is my advice to you. And you will find in every ayah in the Quran something so beautiful and so unique, and at the same time you develop these things that will help you understand the nature of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and will help us develop a very positive relation with Him. So therefore, when we ask Allah to give us something, so we call Him by the attribute that is related and linked to whatever we ask. So here I would love to see every audience, every person who is in front of this camera now, or who is watching this on the internet, would really remember this beginning of every chapter and would really have it in his heart that Allah is the entirely merciful and the specially merciful for the believers and entirely merciful for all His creation. I do thank you, and I do ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make us among those who listen to the tips of advice and select the best of them and practice them in their life.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم
In the name of Allah, the entirely merciful and the specially merciful. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.